Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making birthday cake truffles. These are no-bake truffles. They're so easy to make and they're so delicious. Everyone is going to be obsessed with them. If you love this video and you find it helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, and then also please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos like this one. So let's get right into it. For this recipe, you are going to need 36 golden Oreos. Feel free to use chocolate, but for this recipe, I am using golden. You'll also need an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. You're also going to need some sort of baker's chocolate. You can use chocolate chips if you like them, but I'm using candy melts just because they're super easy to work with and they also harden fast, so it's a little bit less of a mess. You're also going to need some assorted sprinkles. I made this custom mix myself. If you'd like to see a video on how I make my custom sprinkle mixes, please leave a comment below. I'd be so happy to make a video and show you guys how I do that. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to be making the truffles into these really adorable little favors. So you're going to need some clear cellophane baggies. This is of course an optional step, but it does make them look amazing. I found these cute little tags at Michael's. They say sprinkles solve everything, sweet like sugar, and we're just going to attach those tags to the little baggies with baker's twine or any sort of ribbon. So I'm going to start by combining my Oreos, my cream cheese, and my sprinkles in the food processor. The first thing you want to do is pulverize your Oreos until you reach a really fine crumb. Once you reach that fine crumb, you want to take your lid off and then add your cream cheese in. I cut mine into chunks or blocks. It's easier to just kind of throw it in there. And then you want to put your lid back on and pulverize again until you reach a sort of thick, moldable consistency. This is the consistency you're looking for. It doesn't really stick to your hands, it's just moldable. And at this point is when you want to add your sprinkle mix in, so that when you actually bite into the truffles, it's going to look like funfetti or a birthday cake. Now you just want to pulse your machine again, maybe 1 or 2 times, just to make sure that everything is nicely combined. So I've transferred my batter into a bowl, and this is what it should look like. You should be able to see all of your little sprinkles throughout the batter. For this next step, you're going to need a baking sheet and a pre-cut piece of parchment paper, or just regular parchment paper is fine. I'm going to use a 1/2 tablespoon scoop just so that the truffles are uniform in size and they're more consistent. I'm just going to scoop some of the batter and then form them into little round truffles. Now that your truffles are formed, you want to stick them in the freezer on your baking sheet for about 15 to 20 minutes so that they firm up quite a bit. You want them to be really cold when you dip them so that they don't fall apart. So now that my truffles are nice and firm and cool, I am going to heat up my candy melts, 30-second intervals. These are so easy to work with. After a minute or a minute and a half, they're super thin and perfect for dipping, and it sort of just like runs off your spoon like so. So what I'm going to do is take the cool truffles and then dip them one at a time. I usually use 2 forks. I find that it's easiest, but you just kind of have to play around and see which method works best for you. Sometimes 1 fork is better than 2. So just play around with it. And so you want to tap any excess chocolate off after dipping and then nicely place the truffle down on the parchment paper. Candy coating is nice because it hardens really quickly, but you want to make sure that you apply your sprinkles after dipping 2 or 3 truffles, because obviously if the chocolate hardens, you won't be able to actually apply the sprinkles. So I am going to continue this process and then I will be back to show you the finished product. So I have finished dipping my truffles and topping them with sprinkles. They look so adorable. This is the finished product. There's one more step that we have to take before we actually start making the favors, and that is to stick these in the refrigerator or the freezer for about 5 to 10 minutes, just to make sure that the candy coating is completely dry and firm. If you use chocolate chips especially, you want to make sure you do this step, because I find that with chocolate chips, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to dry, and you don't want a huge mess with the chocolate. Now that your truffles are completely firm and dry and have been taken out of the freezer or the fridge, I've taken mine off the parchment paper and then placed them on a small plate because they're a little bit easier to work with. And you want to take your cellophane baggie, open it up, and then place as many truffles as you would like in each bag. I'm going to do about 4 just to show you and kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like. And then after that step, you want to cut your baker's twine or your ribbon or whatever you're going to use to tie the baggies off. And I took a little bit of an extra step and got these cute tags from Michael's, and they say kind of like cute little puns on them about baking. And I'm going to attach those with the baker's twine and tie off the bags, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. So one tip that I do have for you is if you're using the tags attached to the little cellophane baggies, the best thing you can do on the back is write how these keep. So you can write refrigerate up to 10 days in an airtight container, and it'll really help the guests to know how to store them to keep them fresh for as long as possible. This is the finished product. I hope you love them just as much as I do. They're so adorable and they're addictive. They're so good. If you attempt to make them, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to know how they turn out. If you love this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And as always, please subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this one.